Can triple DPS work? Well, if you were to use it with a sustain, probably not, but if you're able to make a team that focuses around breaking the enemies and not letting them do their actions and deal damage, then it actually becomes quite possible. And pair that with the weakness break extension that Ranmei gives, makes it so once we break an enemy, they're not going to be going for another 2 turns. And once that happens, we have all these opportunities to deal a whole bunch of damage while not actually dying ourselves. So for the team, we do have Topaz, Kafka, Zhui, and then Ranmei. Now, all 3 of our DPSs are follow-up DPSs, right? Which means that we are not going to only be able to advance Numbi quite a bit, but we're going to have constant actions in between turns, and that's why Ranmei is just the perfect partner for this. So for Topaz on the builds, she's 83 over 162. Now I did put her on Ratio's Light Cone instead of Zila's Light Cone because it does give me a little bit more crit damage, and we are going to be able to have enough debuffs with the Lightning, Ranmei, and then also with the Pig thing, the follow-up damage bonus from Topaz. So because of that, we don't have too many speed boosts on the team, so all of our characters are going to be on speed boots, which does bring down our damage quite a bit, but it should be okay. As for Kafka, she is kind of weak in my opinion, but she does do the job. Kafka is not only good for advancing Numbi with her follow-ups, but she also does a crazy amount of just weakness damage because she has AoE on her skill, she has the follow-up, and then she also has her ult, right, which is AoE as well. As for Zhui, she's not going to be dealing a ton of damage. Her main role is to deal as much weakness break as possible, because with Ranmei, her ults just take 50% of the enemy's resistance off, toughness. It's kind of crazy. So let's get into the run, and let's see how it performs against a side that is kind of tailored for it because it will be fire and thunder weak. Now, one of the benefits of having our teammates be, corresponding to the element that the enemies are on does make it so even though there's no quantum, we are also going to be able to build up the stacks for Zhui pretty fast. And then also, since if you deal a follow-up after a character's turn, that's not like directly after, then you're actually going to be able to build up an extra stack with Zhui. So her stack generation is actually pretty good throughout this entire run. Especially because Numbi is like an extra turn, not like a follow-up. Now here we are going to break the right enemy pretty fast, so we do want to try to deal as much weakness break on the enemies as possible, particularly the left side, because the right side is just going to be taken out by Numbi. There we go. Now we'll go ahead and use Kafka's Boom, and that triggers another Numbi, which is okay. The damage numbers aren't going to be too high in the run, but considering that all 3 of our characters are dealing a relatively normal amount of damage, it does add up pretty nicely. We just have to make sure that we don't take too much damage, so weakness breaking them as fast as possible and then having them die before they come back is one of the essential parts of this run. Beautiful. Now as for here, we actually might have been able to kill it within this cycle if we just skilled twice. The thing is that I really need Zhui's ult for the next wave because Svarog is going to deal too much damage, so we have to break him immediately. So we're just going to let the MOC buff take him out and then forego the 0 cycle on the first side. See, now that is half of Svarog. I don't even care to learn how to say the name, but it is going to deal a crazy amount of toughness. And then now Numbi, unfortunately, did not stay on the Svarog, so it didn't get broken, but Zhui's follow-ups did go 2-1, so we were able to break. If Proof of Debt is on Svarog, then that's like a guaranteed break. Hey, I remembered what it is, Proof of Debt. As for this, there were a couple debuffs on the dino, so we might as well just trigger a couple extra. One thing that really bothers me is that Topaz, I think, might be the only character in the game that her follow-ups at E0 don't regain energy. That just does not make sense to me whatsoever. I don't know why they would do that, and like I think it's tied between her, I think it's her E2. I don't even know, but I don't know why she would not be able to gain energy from using her follow-ups. It just doesn't make sense, but... And she has a 130 cost ult too, so it's a high energy ult, and then also not gaining energy back from the follow-ups. It's just an extremely disappointing situation. Pretty good. Zhuyi, I think, might actually be our weakest character, so hopefully it doesn't die to the tail swipe thing, or if we can take it out before it does the tail swipe thing, then we're good. The only other thing we have to worry about, obviously, is the AoE attack from Svarog, because that thing is going to deal a crazy amount of damage. So hopefully Zhuyi can survive. Okay, good. And she's going to do her follow-ups, obviously, so she's going to gain, like, 150 health or something like that. Now here, I was thinking about which one's more worth it. It is better to do it on Svarog. And one interesting thing, right, is that you don't actually have to break the hand. If you can break Svarog even after he does the hand thing, then it doesn't get the orders, so it can't take one of your characters. I actually didn't know that until this run, where it just so happened to break right after he summoned the hand. Nice. And 4%, so Numby is going to... I want Numby to take it, so instead of doing a little follow-up, we are going to let Numby shine and spin and finish it. So, 3 cycles for a meme run, completely meme. Is this like a super good team? No, but it is really fun to use. I really do like it, so this was pretty interesting. I am a fan of the meme runs. If you guys have any other suggestions, like the video, comment. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Adios.